So you have bought or made one of my climbing rope stool chairs, and you are at the point where you are going to be weaving your chair seat. So what you're going to need is 30 meters of 9 to 11 millimeter climbing rope. Any other rope will do as well, but this is the rope that I use because I'm trying to recycle climbing ropes. This is your chair seat, and you can see there are these indents where you are going to be screwing the seat to the stool itself, and they are there so you can add a dowel in at the end, and they aren't on the other side. That is going to be the top of your seat. When you start, you're going to start with a bit of the tail just sitting over the seat. You're going to start at the top and maybe 3 inches just stretching over one side of the stool. And at that point, you are going to start to bring your coil through the window of your stool seat and start your weave. You're going to bring it all the way through, and then take that extra and cross it over that first tail that you added, and this will lock it in place. The more that you weave the rope, the tighter that will get, and if you weave it tight, it will never come out. So you're going to give some pressure, pull tight on that rope, and you're going to start to make that weave happen. Keep pulling the rope through. You can see that my rope is starting on the underside of the seat and moving to the top of the seat, and I'm pulling it as tight as I can. You want it to be really tight because a loose weave will lead to sagging later down the line, especially as the rope gets older, and if you live in a place with more humidity, when the rope gets wet or if there's humidity, like moisture in the air, the rope will start to sag over time, and it'll be a less comfortable seat, and you might have to go back and reweave the chair. You might find it helpful also to have a little clamp with you so that if your hands get tired or you need to recoil and get the knots out of the rope, that you can go hands-free for a short amount of time, or if you need to let it sit for the next day or another when you get back to the project. After your last coil, you are going to have a space in the long end of the stool seat, and you are going to take the end bit of your rope and just kind of push it through the small gaps that you've made. When you pull it tight, it'll make a little bit of space for you to get the tail of the rope all the way through that gap. Sometimes you're going to have to use something to make the hole a little bit bigger. And on the way back, you're going to find a loose cord, not the last one you just tied, and then you're going to tie 2 barrel knots at the very end, and that will finish your stool seat and lock that rope in place. And then you're just going to cut off any excess. Here I am fitting the stool to the seat itself. Sometimes the rope is a little snug and you're going to have to kind of squish the ropes down so that it'll fit in place on top of the stool. Last, you're going to drill the seat to the stool itself, and then you'll have your finished product. There it is.